Hey guys, welcome you all to this new video. I'm here with another beautiful scene. We are going to make it in the Blender. I'm thinking of starting a series of these kind of videos in which we are going to bring a tutorial on a scene in each video in the series. But before that, I want to know your opinion about this. You can comment it down and let me know about this in the comment section. I will be trying to keep this tutorial very easy for the beginners, and the intermediate level viewers will also be quite comfortable with this. So before we proceed further, I would like to thank Wondershare for sponsoring this video and also for creating this cool video recording and editing software Demo Creator. Demo Creator is an awesome software for recording videos for tutorials, presentations or games, and it also provides you to edit your videos very quickly. So if you are a gamer or a trainer or you want to prepare the video for your presentations, this software is a one-stop solution for you. And thanks to its simple user interface that you can get started without any great knowledge in video editing, like you would need to go through many tutorials for other softwares. And this software is also available for a free version. If you want to test it out, the link is in the description. But for now, let's jump onto our topic of the video. So we are going to begin with setting up the camera. I'm going to fix the camera at a good position in the beginning itself, and also the camera resolution I'm going to use for this scene is 1128 by 2002, or you can also use 1080 by 1920 as we are going to make it a vertical image. I have added this cube for easy alignment of the camera and to get the general idea of height and location, and also to reduce the focal length of the camera to around 28 mm. I forgot to show this while recording this video, but you can do that by yourself and adjust the camera accordingly. And for the round edges of the wall, just select these edges and press Ctrl+B to bevel them, and scroll in a mouse to add more loop cuts in between for more smoother bevel. And just click on Shade Smooth and check Auto Smooth Normals to get a smoother and better look. And this is already looking nice now. Now we can just add an array modifier to make this wall longer and just make sure it is following in the correct direction. In this case it is going in the opposite direction, so you can just rotate the cube itself to make it correct, or you can enter the negative value in the offset parameter of the array modifier to make it follow along the right direction. Further, we are going to set up the complete scene very quickly, starting with the road. So for the road I am going to do it with the plane. Just scale it enough so that it actually looks believable and looks approximately of the size of the road. And now just add an array modifier to add the length of the road instead of scaling it in the direction of length, as it will stretch the UVs and then making them right will make it longer. So we can just do it with array modifier easily, like what we just did with the wall. And then now we can just duplicate that wall on the other side of the road. You can do that by pressing the Shift+D key on your keyboard, or also with the Alt+D. Doing it with Alt+D will make linked duplicate. I have added another plane for the land that is visible on the other side of the wall. Make that landscape a little bit large and position it at a certain depth from the road to give the illusion of height. And now I am going to model the poles with the help of a cylinder. It is very easy. Just scale the cylinder up on the Z axis and also scale it down a bit to make it thin by pressing Shift+Z to scale it down on all axes except Z axis. And then for the top of the pole, just extrude it and scale it down a little bit. And then for the lamp holder, I am going to duplicate the part of the cylinder, and then after orienting it correctly I am going to scale it up on the Y axis to make it a bit longer. And then select the outer edge loop and scale it down a little bit. And now I am going to add a lamp itself, so you can just add an UV sphere and delete the half part of it and scale and adjust it in a way to achieve a look which looks similar to a lamp. And then for the light part, I have just selected the outer edge of the half cut UV sphere and pressed F key to fill and then I key to insert the face, and then extruded it with the E key little bit inwards. But it was creating some shading issues, so I decided to separate it, and to separate press the P key and then choose separate by selection method, and then apply the subdivision modifier, and then just press I one more time to fix the lamp glass, and this worked for me. And then join them back by selecting both of the objects and pressing Ctrl+J. Add array modifier to add more poles alongside the road, and adjust the offset value to maintain the distance between the poles. And also add the array modifier to the land plane alongside the length of the road, and add one more array modifier to copy the landscape to the other side of the road. You can adjust the offset value to control the distance. and duplicate the poles also on the other side of the road by pressing Alt plus D. This will also make them linked so that if we make any changes to the original one, it also applies to the other one. And also increase the count value for all the array modifiers to increase the length of road as well as of the wall and the count of poles to make this scene a little bit larger. Moving further, we will be quickly setting up the shaders for all the objects we have created till now. And I am going to begin with the wall, and I am adding the concrete texture to it by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus T while the principal BSDF node is selected. Doing so will open the file manager to select all the maps like diffuse, roughness, normal map, etc. all at the one time. But for this, Node Wrangler add-on needs to be enabled, which comes with the Blender. You just need to enable it. And this will do all the work for you very nicely. And to apply the same texture to the wall on the other side of the road, just select both of the walls, and the first one being active one is you need to copy the texture from it. Press the Ctrl plus L key on your keyboard to link them and select link by materials. And now I am going to add the texture for the road, and I am going to do it in the same way. Just press Ctrl plus Shift plus T while the principal BSDF node is selected, and locate the road textures on your PC and hit enter, and this will load all the textures in the proper layout. But as you can see, the alignment of the UVs is not in the correct direction, so you just need to rotate the UVs by 90 degrees in the UV layout window, and this should fix this. And now the road is looking right. Now let's assign materials to the pole. We are going to assign a pretty simple material, nothing fancy. I'm just going to use principal BSDF node and change the color to the black and turn metallic on, and that's it. And for the lamp, we need to select the area for which we are going to assign an emissive material. With the help of circle tool, we can easily select the part of the mesh we want to assign the emissive material to. And for the circle tool, the hotkey is C key. And by the way, let me remind you that you can also get the scene file for free on the Gumroad, and link to the file is in the description. You can just check it out after finishing this video. And now, after selecting all the area we want to assign the material to, you just go to the materials, add new slot, and add new material to the slot, and click on assign, and this will add that material to the selected part of the mesh. And now I am just going to delete the principal BSDF node and instead add emission node and connect it to the material output, and also add a black body node for the emission color, and emission strength should be around 100, and also check on bloom to get that cool amazing glow around the light. And this is already started to look good now. And now just copy the material from this pole to the poles on the other side. Just select both the poles and press Ctrl plus L and link by material, and this will link the materials. And I am doing this because I duplicated it by pressing Shift plus D instead of Alt plus D. But you don't need to follow this step, as this is already done for you, as they are already linked. And now I will be adding the soil texture to the land. I already have a soil texture, so I will be going with that. But this time I have to manually load all the maps because this has some extra maps like specular, ambient occlusion maps, etc. So this cannot be added directly by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus T, and this creates some kind of error. I don't know why, but okay, I have already loaded all the texture maps. And don't forget to scale the texture mapping of the soil texture to some larger values like 5 or 10 or 20 would be nice enough. And now we are going to set up the environment, and this would be the most interesting part of the video. So we are going to start with the color of the world, make it bluish. We are not going to add any kind of HDRI for this, just plain blue color would be nice, and the rest of the work will be done by the fog. So for the fog, I am going to add a cube and some volumetric material on it. But before adding materials, just scale and adjust the size of the cube such that it should cover the road and the land and most of the scene. And for the material, just delete the principal BSDF node and add the principal volume node and connect it to the volume socket. And we are going to use gradient texture to control the density and emission strength. And I have also added an RGB node to control the color from a single node. So connect the RGB to color input and emission color input as well. And for controlling density and emission strength, add a color ramp and connect it to the density and emission strength socket of the principal volume node. And now, as you can see, when we drag that black color stop, it controls the start point of density, but it is doing it in the opposite direction. So just rotate the cube by 180 degrees, and now you can correctly manage that from where the density starts. And you don't want your very high density near the camera, so reduce the black value of color stop to make it light near the camera. You can set the value around 0.180 and that will work pretty nicely. Now we are going to tweak some roughness settings for all the textures to give the effect of rain and wetness to the road and wall. And for this we need noise texture node, color ramp and mix RGB node. Just drop the mix RGB node in between the roughness map and principal BSDF node and switch to multiply mode and turn the factor up to 1 and connect the color ramp to the second socket of mix RGB node. And you can just tweak the color ramp's color stop a little bit and also the scale for the noise texture, and it should already give you a pretty nice results. And for the road, just select noise texture, color ramp and mix RGB node and press Ctrl+C to copy them, and just select the road and in its textures paste these three nodes in here by pressing Ctrl+V, and connect the output socket of roughness map to the first socket of road and output of multiply node to the roughness input in the principal BSDF node, and this will make the road wet. And as you can see, this is already giving the pleasing look, and now we just need to give some final touches as we can add trees, etc. For the trees, I have loaded some image textures using images as planes. You can get some of them for free. Just Google trees with transparent background and you will find a couple of good looking trees. Just download them and import them to the Blender. The image planes are more optimized for rendering in comparison to trees itself. If you are going to place real trees instead, that will increase your render time very much. As for now, this scene renders very fast. On my PC it takes only 1 second per frame to render, and viewport navigation is also very fast, but with the real tree it is going to be very laggy viewport. And now let's take a quick look at today's sponsor, Wondershare, and the amazing tool Demo Creator. With the Demo Creator you can record your desktop screen as well as you can edit videos for your presentations, tutorials, games, etc. This video itself is recorded and processed in Demo Creator. You can add different captions, banners, as well as there are a lot of different transition effects for your videos. It has also green screen effect so that you can cut off the green screen from the video, and that too very easily in a fraction of seconds. You can also add openers, credit rolls, lower thirds, etc. easily with the available templates. With Demo Creator you can export the video in multiple formats like MP4, AVI, MOV, GIF, etc. with watermark in the free version. And the paid version is available at an affordable price of $23.99 per year. You can just buy them from the link in the description. Just check it out now, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment it down about the amazing software and about the video itself, and suggestions for the upcoming videos in the series, and also do subscribe for more tutorials like this. And thanks for watching. See you soon.